Hi, boys and girls. I'm gonna read the storybook. It's called The Switch Up. Let's begin. It was a stormy night as Black Widow and Hawkeye carry out a top secret mission deep within Hydra's base. It is kinda spooky down here, Hawkeye said. Can we eat after this? I'm starving. The sooner we secure the thumb drive with the plans to Hydra's super weapon, the sooner we can eat. It is locked inside this vault. Black Widow replied, we need to grab it and get out of here. So now this is our top secret mission in Hydra base. So they're trying to grab Hydra's secret weapon, Black Widow and Hawkeye. So let's see what happens next. To unlock the vault, all Hawkeye had to do was say the code words. But there was just one problem. He'd forgotten what they were. Hurry up, partner, Black Widow said. We don't have much time. Hawkeye had been paying attention during the mission brief, but he couldn't remember. Open sesame? He whispered. Incorrect. The computer snapped. Uh-oh. The computer snapped, so let's see what happens next. So open sesame was not the code. Let's see what happens next. If you're not going to take our mission seriously, maybe it is time we took a break from being partners, said Black Widow. Hawkeye wasn't sure what to say. Halt! A voice called out. Hydra's robot soldiers were out on the attack. Uh-oh, they found Hawkeye and Black Widow. Now they're attacking them. Let's see what happens next. Before Hawkeye could reach the exit, a Hydra robot jumped out of nowhere and bonked him on the head. Ouch! He yelled, falling to the ground with a thud. Wait a minute. Where am I? Who are you? What is going on here? What? Black Widow exclaimed. Hawkeye, please don't tell me you lost your memory. Uh-oh. He got knocked down by a robot on his head, and on the ground had a terrible thud, and now Hawkeye cannot remember a single thing. Let's see what happens next. Who is Hawkeye? Hawkeye asked, confused. Before Black Widow could answer, Hydra's robots grabbed the two heroes and tossed them into separate jail cells. This is bad, Black Widow said, pacing back and forth. We need to find a way out of here as quickly as possible. I agree. Hawkeye said, shaking his head. What is your name again? Uh-oh. Hawkeye cannot remember what's going on. So now they're locked up in a jail cell. Hawkeye and Black Widow. Now Black Widow's trying to think of a plan how to escape the Hydra's robots. So let's see what happens next. And also, Hawkeye does not know who he is, and he doesn't know nobody. He doesn't know where he is. He lost his memory. So let's see how this mission ends up. I'm Black Widow. You're Hawkeye. We're Avengers, she explained. You really don't remember anything? Hawkeye was confused. What are we avenging? Black Widow reminded her partner about his life as a superhero. She hoped that recounting stories of their adventures together would help jog his memory. You were the guy who single-handedly stopped Thanos from destroying the planet, she explained. That is kind of a big deal. Oh, so she's trying to help him remember everything. That he was part of the Avengers, that he stopped Thanos from destroying the whole planet. And she's telling the whole story, so they're Avengers of everything, what they do together as a team. And so he could remember, but let's see what happens next. Hawkeye rubbed his chin. These are great stories, but they're not ringing any bells. Sorry, lady. Uh-oh, I guess they're not ringing any bells. Black Widow was at her wits' end. Don't you remember me? I'm your partner, she said. We might argue sometimes, sure, but we're always got each other's back. Suddenly, Black Widow heard the robot guard's footsteps. It was headed in their direction. Uh-oh, the robots are heading their directions. And Hawkeye cannot remember a single thing. So now Black Widow has to do this mission on her own. Because Hawkeye lost his memory. Black Widow climbed up into the ceiling until she was completely out of sight. Hey, where did she go? The guard said. Smack! Black Widow swung down from the above and kicked the guard in the face. His robot head went flying through the air. So she was on the ceiling and she landed on top of the robot. Well, she kicked him on the face. So now Black Widow has to do this mission on her own. So let's see what happens next. That takes care of that, said Black Widow. Awesome! Hawkeye cheered. You're good at this hero stuff. Black Widow rolled her eyes. Thanks, I know. Now follow my lead. She grabbed their weapons, handing Hawkeye his quiver and bow. They ran through the open cell door. So they're climbing up the ladder through the cellar. And now they're trying to find a way to get out of that place. So they're going to the roof. This tunnel will take us to the roof, Black Widow said. There's a jump ship up there we can use to escape. Wow, you really know what you're doing, said Hawkeye. Black Widow was all business. When we get up there, be prepared for anything. They arrived on the roof to find themselves surrounded by robots once more. I'm getting a little tired of this, Black Widow growled. What is the plan? Hawkeye asked. The plan is we kick their rear ends, Black Widow said. Let's dance. So now the robots are on the roof and they caught them trying to escape. But let's see what Black Widow and Hawkeye will do next. I can't wait for that dance that they're going to show to the robots. I think this dance will not end good for the robots. Two Hydra robots sneaked up behind Black Widow and grabbed her on either side. Find your special arrow with the red tip, Black Widow said, struggling. Hawkeye spilled his entire quiver full of arrows. Nuts! He shouted. He searched through the pile, but he couldn't find the right one. We're running out of time, Black Widow said. I'll just have to handle this myself. Black Widow summoned every ounce of strength she had, smashing the Hydra robots into each other and destroying them in a burst of sparks. Hawkeye found the red-tipped arrow. Better late than ever, right? Another round of Hydra robots was on the move. Get it together, Hawkeye! Black Widow exclaimed. You're the world's best marksman! It is time you remember that! So Black Widow is fighting out the robots on her own, and Hawkeye couldn't find the red-tipped arrow. But since he found it, now Black Widow wants him to remember everything to get himself back together in order to stop Hydra's robots and escaped. So let's see what Hawkeye will do. Hawkeye felt a jolt in his brain. His memory had returned at last. His partner's words were exactly what he needed to hear. Check this out, he said. He shot his arrow through the row of robots like a torpedo. Look, he did shoot them like a torpedo, the arrow to the robots. Welcome back, Black Widow said. Took you long enough? Tell me about it, Hawkeye said, grinning. I just remembered something else, Hawkeye exclaimed. Time to get that thumb drive so we can get out of here. But be right back. Hurry up, Black Widow said. We don't have all day. So Black Widow's happy that Hawkeye got his memory back. So now Hawkeye knows what he's going to do. And Black Widow she knows what she is doing. Helping out a good friend. And she's glad that he is back. It took a long time for him to remember everything. So let's see what happens next. Hawkeye ran to the vault and delivered the secret code words. The door unlocked. He grabbed the thumb drive and returned to his partner and hopped into the jump ship with Black Widow. Time to go. You sure you remember how to fly that thing? Asked Black Widow. Trust me, Hawkeye said. The hero settled into the ship and fired up the engine. Crack-a-thumb! So now they're in their ship. Now they're flying away. So Hawkeye already got the code. Now he knows what he's doing. Hope he does. Hawkeye realized he hadn't been the best partner he could have been. I really messed up, Widow. You had my back, but I didn't have yours, he confessed. It won't happen again. You have my words. Thanks, said Black Widow. I appreciate that. So let's see what happens next. Grrr! A sudden grumbling sound shook the heroes in their seats. What was that? Black Widow asked. Did one of Hydra's robots sneak onto the ship? Hawkeye was embarrassed. His stomach was rumbling. That was me. I'm still hungry, he said, chuckling. Can we stop at the nearest taco truck? That is, if you don't mind. You got it, Black Widow replied. Anything for my partner. And that is the end of our story. And I guess he is still hungry for some taco. Black Widow and Hawkeye. The end. Well, boys and girls, what I can say is that Black Widow was trying to get the top secret mission done, but it wasn't easy. Her and her partner, Hawkeye, were trying to get through all the robots, but like I said, it wasn't easy. Hawkeye lost his memory because of battling one of the robots. So what? And plus, he couldn't remember the code of trying to unlock a secret weapon that Hydra has planned to do. So let's see what happens. Let's ask Piggy. Hello, boys and girls, and Puppy. Hello, boys and girls. So Piggy, we noticed that Black Widow was struggling during this top secret mission. What was the first part that she was struggling? It's when the robots had interrupt their plans of trying to get the secret code. Yeah, and then Hawkeye, they were battling the robots, and one of the robots jumped on Hawkeye and bumped his head and hit on the ground. So, what happened to Hawkeye? He couldn't remember a single thing. He was lost. His memory was all lost, and Black Widow didn't know what to do. So what happened to both of them? They were locked up in jail, in each separate jail cells. Yeah, because of Hawkeye, he couldn't remember a single thing. That is true. He didn't know who he was. He didn't know where he is. He didn't know who his partner was. Plus, he didn't know what his name. Yeah, that is true. So, another question is, did Black Widow try to help him remember everything? Yes, like that battle in New York City. Like taking on Thanos and Loki. She reminded him that he is the one that stopped Thanos from taking over the world. From destroying our planet. Yeah, but it did not work. Yeah, that's true. What was the second thing she did? Well, she was on her own trying to escape the whole mission with the secret code. So what did they do next? Well, they went on the secret tunnel. They were climbing like this. Climb, 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 climb. But then, here's another thing. She was on the ceiling. Before the secret tunnel, she was on the ceiling. Yeah, she was. She was trying to hide from the robot guard. So she went like this. Yeah, and the robot guard was walking directly in the jail cell, and then boom! She kicked him like this. Ouch! 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 She kicked the face head out of that robot. Yep, she did. Good job, Black Widow. But that's what we're trying to say is that when they got out of the roof, when they got out of the tunnel, they reached the roof. Yes, but Hawkeye still couldn't remember anything, so he was following her directions. Yeah, that's true. And when they get out, they were surrounded and trapped by Hydra's robot guards. So they went, wapa, wapa. Black Widow didn't know what to do. All she ever did was, kicking the robots in their rear ends. And that's all she did. Hawkeye was trying to remember what he is and what he does and what he do and where he is. So she went pow, 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 pow to every robot guard. Yeah, and when Hawkeye was trying to get those arrows that he dropped, he remembered, his memory came back. He knew who he was, so he grabbed the arrows and shoots the robots down. Oh, you got me, puppy, you got me! Ciao! Ciao! And then he remembers the code, and so then they took the code and the weapons and they went to the ship. And Black Widow was happy to have her partner back to normal. Yes. It took long enough for him to come back. So they had a dance with the robots. Whoop-pow, whoop-pow. Or like this, dance, dance, dance. But they were kicking the rear ends. Yeah, and at the end of the story, Hawkeye was still hungry. Yes, he asked Black Widow and they could stop by a taco truck. Oh, yeah. Black Widow thought it was a robot and she thought the robot was in the ship. Nope, it was his stomach. So that's the end of the story. Yes, it was. Good thing is Black Widow had Hawkeye's back, but Hawkeye was sad because he didn't have Black Widow's back. But they still did not give up on their missions. That is correct. Teamwork always wins, right? Right. So remember, boys and girls, if your friend is having trouble with learning new things like learning how to read or play sports, or learning how to work together as a team, or even play together in fun games, you could always help them remember every single skills and techniques. Yes, like playing soccer, whoop-pow, or playing baseball, pshoo. Yes, it's always better to teach everyone how to play sports, and also how to play fun games, just like playing superheroes. Yes, but you always have to make a plan to remember everything, every information. And also, we learned something new from the story between Black Widow and Hawkeye. Is that friends always have each other's backs. And you never ever forget any of your friends or your family members. Because they have your backs, boys and girls. It means they'll always be there to support you 100% and help you more than 100% and love you more than 10,000%. Yes, that's true. They'll love you, they'll help you, they'll be there for you every day. Well, not every day. But still, they'll love you. Yes, and always help your friends and family in need of help. Like cleaning, or doing laundry, or grocery shopping, or going out for a walk at the park, or playing sports, or doing some art drawings or paintings, or lots and lots of fun activities. It's always fun to have friends to be there for you, just like Black Widow was always there for Hawkeye, and Hawkeye's always there for Black Widow. Okay, boys and girls? Remember, everybody needs help, especially when it's a top secret mission that's very important you still need to help your friend and family. Good night, everybody. Good night. And always remember, be yourself. Good night. Well, what I can say, everybody, is that you gotta be yourself. You gotta not give up. Sometimes it's hard to remember things like remember a game that you need to. Remembering a sports game that you have today or tomorrow. You gotta remember you gotta be prepared. You gotta be ready. You gotta have all your uniforms, your clothes, and everything ready for that game. And also, there's a party going on. You gotta have presents and candies and other fun stuff, and wear nice clothes. And don't forget anything. Don't forget your friends. Don't forget your family. Don't forget special events. Social events, as in like family events, or let's say like going to the park and playing with your friends, or and there's sometimes you can't forget nothing. You cannot never forget anything. Sometimes you do, like for example, I forget where I leave my AirPods, and sometimes I do. And I lasted 2 months without my AirPods, and I found them in the back of my Buzz Lightyear toy. 2 months without my AirPods. And also sometimes I forget where I leave my phone. But I never forget of my family, and I never forget of my friends, and I never forget all you boys and girls. See, what's really most important is the heart. That we all gotta be there for each other, support each other, and appreciate each other, and respect each other. That's what Hawkeye wanted to do. He wanted to help out his friend Black Widow, but he couldn't because his memory was lost. It was lost. And she was trying to help him remember everything, but like Hawkeye said, doesn't ring a bell. Until the end, he remembered his arrows, so he remembered who he was, a superhero. And he remembered what's his name and his friends. And where he was. He remembered everything. Because everything comes back in his memory. So, remember, boys and girls, don't forget. Sometimes it is okay to forget everything, but don't forget the most important thing in your life. And that is your family, your friends, your heart, and everyone who loves you. Never forget that. Never forget the good memories, okay? Love you, boys and girls. Good night. Stay strong.